Hi, my name's Dan. This video is the first in a short series of videos about Unreal Interface widgets, sometimes called UMG or Unreal Motion Graphics. Okay, and these are elements that you can use for on-screen interfaces. They're often used for HUDs, that's heads-up displays, so that's stuff that's displayed as if it were pasted on the inside of your screen whilst the game's playing, and for menus and other interactive elements in your game. So if all you wanted was something simple displayed, you might be better off using a HUD class, and I have another short video on that that's available, so go and look at that if all you're wanting is something that's non-interactive displayed on the screen. You might be better off in that way. You can actually have both on the screen at the same time if you want. You can have UMG widgets and a HUD both operating at the same time. That can cause confusion when you're programming if you're not quite sure, you can't remember which element is in which. So it's better to stick with one or the other if you can. So let's crack in then. So let's introduce what I've got here. I've just got a standard third-person template map with no alterations to it yet. And I'm just going to go up to the root of the content here. So if we right-click, we're able to create new assets, and widgets are assets. And instead of going blueprint class, which is the standard one at the top, we want to be looking at this bottom one down here, which is a user interface. There's a whole load of other kind of assets we can get. And the very bottom one here is Widget Blueprint, and that's the thing that we're going to create. I'm going to call this Dan Widgets. Okay, and I've entered this up for editing, and there's a reasonably standard editor here. It looks different to some of the other editors. There are two elements here. There's the designer, which is where you can see the graphical elements, and then there's a graph, which is where you can do scripting. So one of the things that obviously you're going to want to do is to have something happen as a result, or for your display to reflect something that's going on in your game, and that's all done through the scripting graphs. I'm not going to deal with that in this video. We've got several more videos in this series coming up. What I want to do is just do a quick show of a couple of elements and how to get started and how to get your widget on screen. So this widget is kind of, you can think of it as being a master widget. So this is the one that holds everything that I'm going to want to be shown on the screen at once. And what I'm going to do is have some elements which are actually in themselves also widgets. So just up here on the left-hand side, there's some standard elements, and if you pull the bar down, there's a whole load more stuff that's available in here. And we'll see a few of those in the rest of the videos in this series. I'm just going to chuck in, where's the image? There. And this, having dragged and dropped it onto the screen, we've got a star. This is this thing up here is called an anchor. We'll deal with that in the next video. And we can just kind of move that around and put it where we want on the screen. And in its appearance here, I'm just going to open up Brush, and I'm going to select an image to actually display. And this drop-down box then gives us all the materials we've got in the project. So these are all from the starting content, and then below that there's the textures from the starting content as well. And I'm looking for my friend the checker noise. So it's just a little kind of, looks a bit like a Battenberg cake. So I've got that image on screen, and just kind of chuck some text on screen as well there. And so that currently says text block, and over here in the content on the right hand side is where I can actually tell it what that text should be. And I'm going to do hello, my name is Dan, because that's truthful, and make sure that that's stretched so that It covers the whole of that text. I can change a whole lot of stuff in here, the colour, opacity, the font, etc. is available, but I'm not going to bother with that because the focus of this video is on just getting something really simple on screen. So I can compile that widget and I'm going to minimize it down. So that by default is not just being displayed on the screen. I need to find a way of displaying it. So when you're using a HUD class, you plug it in using the settings for the project. It's a completely different process to get a widget on the screen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do this in the level blueprint. I tend to avoid using the level blueprints for some things because it's not easy to communicate with the level blueprint. And of course, each level has its own blueprint. But this is a fairly straightforward place to do this. So the level blueprints, I'm just going to open that up. Find that event begin play. So this event gets triggered when the game starts, and actually after all the elements that I needed have been created initially, it then passes this event to everything that's been created that is able to receive it. And what we need to do is to create an instance of the widget that we've had. So you can use create widget. And this gives us the chance to select here, and there's not many widgets available, and mine is one of them. And even then, when we've created it, it's not going to be displayed because I haven't done the next phase, which is to actually add it to the viewport. Which is effectively the screen. There's one thing Z order there, which is if you're adding more than one, you can use that to say which one's on top and which one's underneath. That now should be it, and it should display that widget on screen. And in fact, hey presto, it is. So there we go. It's possible to create your own widgets that go within the master widget. And the tendency that I have seen so far is that you tend to put all your interface stuff into one widget, and then if you've got menus and on-screen interface, you just hide and show different areas of it and different parts of it as you want. Anyway, that's the first widget that we've done. Come back and see some more of my videos on widgets, but that's it from me for now.